Patients who were diagnosed to have coronary artery disease affecting the arteries of the heart, are likely to prescribe certain medicines to prevent the worsening of the condition and reduce the frequency of getting chest pain. These medicines include things like aspirin, clopidogrel, cholesterol-lowering medicines such as statins, ACE inhibitors, and beta blockers.
I know some people don't like to be on medicines, don't like to be on drugs regularly, but I accept that I need these. I understand what they are for, each of them, and realise that, yes, they're helping, that they're helping my blood not to be sticky, to be thinner, to flow more easily. And therefore, of course, I'm going to take them. Of course I am. I'm very grateful they're there. To help me remember to take my medicines, I have a dosette organising that my medicines for the week. Each day is divided into 4 sections, and that tells me whether I have taken them or not. A dosette is wonderful.
My wife went to the chemist one day and she inquired about it, and she came home with this 7-day box with 7 compartments in. So now each week I fill each compartment up with my required doses, and that's how I remember, because they're all dated Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and that. And quite honest, I never miss taking my tablets. I always take them.
Some people experience side effects from their medications. However, this varies from person to person. Your GP, pharmacist or practice nurse are all people you can approach for information. It is important not to stop any of your medications without getting medical advice.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Take your medicines as prescribed to improve your heart health. Do not stop taking them without first seeking medical advice. You can get advice from your GP, practice nurse or pharmacist. Being told you have heart disease can come as a shock. People often need time to adjust. Family and friends can be a great source of support.
After an angioplasty, people typically feel a whole range of different emotions and feelings, and there is no right or wrong way to feel. Sometimes people might feel a bit irritable, or a bit angry or fed up, or frustrated that their recovery is not happening as quickly as they'd like. But on the other hand, many people often feel relieved that the whole thing's over and done with, and they can look forward to getting on with life again.
I think the role of the partner is very, very important. The partner can do a lot without sometimes realising it. That verbal, psychological support, encouraging the person not to give up things, not to change their life drastically just because they've had this sort of illness. And I think it's vitally important that the partner should always be optimistic. Try and make sure that the person who's suffered the illness doesn't get down in the doldrums too much. You know, raise their hopes. Make sure that they realise that things will, in all probability, get a lot better.
In the immediate time after the procedure, many people find it helpful to speak to their friends or close family about how they're feeling and talk through those emotions. The cardiac rehabilitation team or the GP are also very helpful. I think a bit further down the line, if people are getting stuck, worrying about what they can and can't do, or their mood's quite low, the cardiac rehabilitation team might refer somebody to myself, and the clinical psychologist would then get involved and offer specialist advice and support so that people can get back to where they want to be with their lives.
There is no right or wrong way to feel. It may take time for you and those close to you to adjust to living with heart disease. If you feel down and this persists over a period of months, consult your GP.
Smoking is by far and away the biggest risk factor for heart disease, so patients should stop smoking as soon as they can in order to reduce the future risks. We accept this is not easy to do, but stopping smoking is far more powerful than the medications you will be prescribed to keep your heart healthy in the long term.
I was helped by certain things, such as I never smoked in the house. The dustbin and I used to be very great friends. My children's attitude, and seeing my precious little ones, at the foot of that bed in the hospital that night, fighting back tears. And I wasn't going to do that to them again. That's what helped. That's what helped. The effect on other people. But actually giving up nicotine was bad news. And hard to do. But I've done it.
If a patient decides to quit smoking after an angioplasty, there's lots of support and advice available. Firstly, through the GP, they can help by prescribing nicotine replacement therapy, and there's lots of different types of nicotine replacement therapy that are available through nicotine patches, inhalators, or even medication, and they can double your chances of quitting successfully. The practice nurse can also help by providing information and support. Alternatively, you can go to the NHS smoke-free service, and you can access that via the internet. They can give you more advice and information on stopping smoking, but also provide information about local services, such as group support, one-to-one support, or home-based support, and that can be via text message, email, telephone, or even post.
Quitting smoking will improve your heart health more than anything else. Seek help from your GP, practice nurse or pharmacist, who can advise you where you can get help to quit. Don't stop trying if you don't succeed straight away.
If I was thinking about the do's and don'ts of eating in a heart-healthy way, I would really think of 3 main points. The first one being eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, and we say aim for 5 portions of fruits and vegetables every day, and it's really important to get a good variety of these foods. They contain really good vitamins and minerals that are so protective to our hearts. The second point I would make is eat plenty of fish, particularly oily fish, and those fish include things like pilchards, sardines, mackerel, salmon, lots of varieties, and they contain omega-3, which again are really protective to our hearts. The third point I would make is try and reduce the amounts of saturated fat that you're taking in. So we're talking about fats from animal sources. So try and remove visible fat from meats, avoid using butter and lard when you're cooking, and try and choose lower fat varieties of the dairy products that you enjoy. And also think about the calories that you're consuming. So if you're trying to lose weight, remember that fat contains lots of calories, so we just need to be reducing the amount of total fat that we're eating. And eating healthily is really about making a lifestyle change, which we should be able to maintain. So it's important to enjoy our foods. So we should be able to include treats and eating out as part of our healthy eating plan. Now, if you're looking for more information about healthy eating, or you're struggling with your diet, please seek advice from your doctor or your specialist nurse. And if you're really still struggling, then they can refer you to a dietitian for more specialist advice.
तो जब मैं हॉस्पिटल से वापस आया तो डॉक्टर ने बहुत सारी बाकी बातों के अलावा मुझे ये भी कहा था कि रेड मीट कम खाऊं, तो मैंने काफ़ी कम कर दिया। उसकी बजाय वाइट मीट, मेरा मतलब है मुर्गी वगैरह या फ़िश और ताज़ा सब्ज़ियां, ये खाने में मैंने ज़्यादा ख्याल रखा और फिज़ी ड्रिंक भी छोड़ दिए। उसके बजाय मैं पानी पीता हूँ जो सेहत के लिए ज़्यादा अच्छा है।
I've now become more aware of the importance of oily fish and fish in general. Certainly make sure have our 5 portions of fruit and veg a day, and I am much more adventurous with a different use of fruit and vegetables. We have a lot of fruit in salads, for example?
I always have butter. I started having margarine. Full cream milk went to semi-skim milk.
Although I'm aware of what it is necessary to stick to things, I do occasionally treat myself or cheat on the diet. You know, occasionally have the full milk, or I'll have something with salt, or something that I shouldn't, probably bacon sandwich, but not bacon grilled. But I think it's nice to have a treat, just occasionally, as long as you don't overdo it. I'm aware that I've got to be a bit careful, otherwise I'm going to be back to square one.
Eat 5 portions of fruit and vegetables each day. Eat less animal fat. Eat more oily fish, at least 2 portions a week.